আপনারা দেখছেন ILFL Soccer Night.
Welcome back, footy fans. It's the ILFL Soccer Night show. Here we are. We're going to talk about the ILFL and Shanali Otis Veterans League, that fast and frenetic football that takes place on a Thursday night. And we've got some highlights for you. And it's the first division game. It is the game between Weavers and Mostyn. Now, we spoke about this last week. And we said these are two teams that are looking to try and resurrect some respectability in their debut seasons. Well, for Mostyn it is. Whoever gets the 3 points here is going to have an air of respectability back in the table and see if they can push on from there. It was always deemed to be a tight game, and it was indeed. We've got the highlights for you right now from last Thursday. This is Mostyn versus Weavers.
Good evening and welcome to ILFL Veteran League Division 1 League. Today we are going to show third in the league, Weavers versus the fifth, Mostyn.
There it was, a highly entertaining game, 5 goals in it, but one team had to get the odd one, and that was Weavers beating Mostyn by 3 goals to 2. Let's take a look at all of the results from the First Division in last week's Vets League. We've seen the one at the top there, Mostyn losing by 3 goals to 2 against the Weavers Vets. FC Bondu continued their impressive run. They put 4 past Tower Hamlets Vets, the B side that is, who managed to put 1 in return. And Stepney Legends, the Legends march on. They beat FC Redbridge by 4 goals to 0. Was that the shock result, we believe? Maybe more could and should have gone in. Nanu, discuss.
It was really tough. As a Redbridge player, it was really tough playing against Stepney. Unbelievable. They are really, really good. They shouldn't even be in this division, honestly. Because I think what we did was we actually got them frustrated. That's what it was. They got the 4 goals, but we kept really, really tight. Hadn't it been for their own goal on the first half, I think the goals could have been a lot narrower, maybe 2 or 3. But 4 was a really, really good result for Redbridge. I think for Stepney, the reason why they were frustrated is because they probably thought this was a goals bonanza for them, a bit like what Bondo did. But Redbridge managed to get some of the players come in the last minute, and there were some good players. So the previous week with Bondo, it was a complete disaster because, you know, the injuries and, you know, players travelling around. It's just the conditions, you know, it was a bad cocktail. So last week against Stepney, I think it was a lot of improvement from Redbridge. But like I said, Stepney are a very, very good team, and they can open up any other team.
And Weavers are the second team in that division, would you say?
Weavers are a very good. See what they did to Mostyn. Mostyn are a very tough team to open up at the back. Looks like Weavers have the right formula to score the goals against Mostyn. You know, I mean, Mostyn, they're very good, but they like to play very, very tight at the back. But Weavers managed to get behind them, and that's very impressive for them.
Do you know what? There's some tasty games to come up in the First Division. I'm looking forward to when the Cup games come round, which will be in a short while, a few weeks. So we'll give you more information on that on weeks to come. The Premier Division in the Vets League also took place. Still tight. Still hard to call what's going to happen. Let's take a look at the results from the Premier Division last week, Thursday. Beaumont and St Catherine's, an edgy game between those two, but it ended up 0-0, probably a better point for St Catherine's than it was for Beaumont. The Sire Vets beating London Tigers by 2 goals to 1. We'll discuss that in a little bit more detail in a minute. And the Aberhane Vets went down again, 2 goals to 0 against a very good Bromley on the night. Hasnat, were you there last Thursday?
Unfortunately not.
Unfortunately, you missed some.
I was busy finding stats, David.
Well, you know what? You're going to help me with some stats here because let's talk about the obvious one in the Premier Division. London Tigers. From my own memory, I can't remember a time when Tigers lost 2 on the trot.
Well, we put it out on Facebook. When was the last time London Tigers lost 2 games consecutively in the Vets League? Since the Vets have been up and running since 2012, am I right, Rash?
This is the 4th season.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys want to go around the table, give a shot, but when do you think the last time London Tigers lost 2 games consecutively?
I don't think it's happened.
I don't think it's
happened.
It's not been happened. I've checked through the stats. London Tigers have not lost 2 games in a row, so this is a first. Crisis? I don't know, Dave.
On top of that, it's unheard of Tigers being ahead on the first half and then losing on the second half.
Absolutely, and I'm not even sure it was that. I mean, obviously I watched the game being in the middle, but it was the manner of defeat. Tigers it's the worst I've seen them.
Not only that, I think you have to give credit to Side because they could have scored more goals.
Absolutely.
I think they should have scored another 3 or 4 at least because they missed a couple of sitters. The way they started, it meant business. I think they realised they bottomed the league. They know they have to qualify for the cup to be, you know, playing in the cup, and they wanted to give everything they had. 150%.
And they grew in confidence as the game went on, didn't they?
But the possession they had, the way they played, they kept attacking, and you know, I think Sai just tore into Tigers, and I think the score doesn't reflect that. I think Sai should get a lot of credit, and they should have scored more goals.
Absolutely, I have to agree with you there. And another good game with some good goals as well was the Bromley Legends game. Well done to you guys down at Bromley. Great game, good football, scored 2 very, very good goals, and Bromley looking very useful this time around again.
Yet again, another season, Bromley doing fantastic. I mean, they've got 9 points. They played 4 games, and they're scoring 32, a goal every 32 minutes, and that is really, really good. I mean, they've only conceded 3 goals, but they've scored 5 goals, and they're there. but Bromley, they don't like to attack as much as some of the other teams would like to, you know. And I think that's where their issue is. And we've discussed this and we've noticed that in the previous season, and I think something needs to be done about that. If they did, I reckon they would be somewhere up there with Beaumont. There's no doubt.
I think what is interesting about the Premier League is that out of the 7 teams, any team can actually beat any other team.
It's looking that way in the Premier
It's
Division.
not like
really
in the previous season where you had top 3 more or less
Yeah.
winning every game, bottom 4, you know, struggling. The Ainwaki side just proved it. Hamlets, they didn't play. They're another good side. Obviously, Beaumont Masters didn't well. St. Catherine's, we said that from before the season started. Dark Horse is a very hard team to beat.
Very tough team
You
to
know,
beat.
they've proved. I'm sure you look at the table. They haven't lost many games. So Beaumont will say, you know what, it's not a bad result having a draw, but it's a very, very tough division, Premier League.
It is indeed. Just before I come to you, Has, we're going to take a quick look at the table, the Premier Division table as well, just to back up what Rashid is saying there. And I know the team at the top has got 10 points and the team at the bottom has got 3, but like I said, St. Catherine's are a difficult team to beat. Tower Hamlets got a victory over the Tigers and are sitting in 6th place. Sire, sitting in 5th, got a victory over Tigers as well and are sitting in 5th place. And then there's everybody above them. We're talking about how poorly Abahani are playing, but they're in 4th place. Beaumont scratched out a draw, but you know what? Still sitting top as well. House, you wanted to chip in?
The only thing I was going to... I think every single one of those teams has learnt from last year, because first and foremost, I think everyone's looked at Tigers and now started to work out how to beat the Tigers. And likewise, with Bromley, you were saying that they don't score many goals, but we have to remember, last year, Abahani, they finished 4th, but they scored the fewest goals, and they were just winning by the narrowest of margins. So I think everybody in that division has learnt from each other, and that's why now Abahani being beat, they're sitting there second from bottom, Tigers stumbling, because everyone's worked it out, and I think that's brilliant. Everyone's actually looking at each other's tactics now.
Let's take a look at the tables for the First Division Vets as well. Just to back up what we were talking about earlier. Stepney top by 2 points with a game in hand over FC Bondu, who are just scoring goals for fun at the moment. Like I said, looking forward to some taster games, a Stepney Bondu game, Bondu Weavers. It's all going to happen with those top 3 between Weavers, Bondu and Stepney. And then the best of the rest is Tower Hamlets, the Mostyn, Riverside. Those 3 teams still have time to pick up their season and pull it back. And as we've heard some mention, with the cup to come in the Vets, remember it's the top 6 from each division that will qualify for the cup. So still all to play for over the next couple of weeks. Get your act together, as we saw Sire doing the Prem. It's possible to beat the teams in and around you, and certainly the teams that are way above you. We've got so much to talk about, and I've got to take another break, but we will come back in the third section of the show to talk about the games to come this Thursday, the games to come this Sunday, and a few more bits and pieces on from the Statsman Nanu to come as well. Right back after this short break on the ILFL Soccer Night Show.
আপনারা দেখছেন ILFL Soccer Night.